Hey, welcome in, everyone. Welcome back to DomTime. Joining me tonight, John Featherman, Philly.com columnist and Rolling Stones. Wow, the ticket price is just mind-boggling to me. And Pat Gillespie, who is our chief go-to guy when it comes to All Matters Union. Just back from Harrisburg today. We do the monthly governor's show. And the intrigue there is almost international intrigue over a simple thing, LCB, where I think you guys might, well, Pat has called alcohol poison on my show, so I think we'd have difference here. For viewers, John, my take is this. There are strong elements, union and a couple of others, that are diehard to keep the system that we have in play. And then most other people, 70, 80%, want us to buy alcohol like adults, but they're tepid. They don't even know all this is going on. How do you see this playing out? It's coming down in the next 7 to 10 days.
There's no question that Pennsylvania is going to be a pro-privatization state. It's on its way. Now, there could be a hybrid. There could be some areas where there are some state stores where it doesn't make economic sense for some private businesses to locate.
In the sticks, out in the rural.
We have to stop the migration of people over to New Jersey to buy cheap alcohol. People know that if it's privatized, it's cheaper somewhere else. We have to keep them here in Pennsylvania.
Pat, how do you see this shaking out? You're back from Harrisburg talking on a couple of issues. How does this come out?
I think that it's tempest in a teapot. I think it's sad that the governor this is one of his seminal issues that he's talking about to make it easier for people to get a drug that impairs them, and it's a serious problem, and it's the most abused drug that we have in society. Just the conversation that you two had. Buy it like you can buy adults. Listen, alcohol is a problem, Dominic, and it will always be a problem.
I got to tell you, I respect you a lot. I'm shocked when I hear you say this stuff. And Johnny Doc, if you're watching the show tonight, he has a bar. You're
listen, there's a lot of contradictions in life, Dominic, but I see it from
Is it a background, a family background? You've seen people that had some difficulty or no?
I've seen. We have an ATAP program where we spend well over the building trades spend well over $2 million a year getting our members out off of drugs. And the main drug that we're getting them off of is alcohol.
I would guess that.
Now,
sure.
Oxycontin and those other opiates are now, they're just as problematic. But for people to cavalier, let's make it easier for us to put, now you were a kid, you were raised in Philly, and when we were kids, we used to get a quart of beer, we'd connive somebody to buy us a quart of beer, and that was, but we had to go to special means. Now you put it in grocery stores. The more daring kids are just going to run in there and grab it.
But you lose your license. You lose what you have.
No. I'm not saying the transaction.
Okay,
they're going to go in and steal it.
This is holding up. Pat, that's the best you have tonight. John, what's your counter to that? We're going to hell in a hand. He's right. I mean, we talked about the union problem, the guys he has, and alcohol.
Well, that's not just you.
No, I'm not. I know.
It's the entire population.
Yeah.
There's no question that alcohol probably is the biggest drug problem that we have. But it's decriminalized already. But it's not fully decriminalized. It's fully decriminalized when people are able to buy and sell it, which they still can't do legally in Pennsylvania. If you really want to be able to buy and sell it, you should be able to go to a corner grocery and to be able to buy it. It's that simple.
Yeah,
like cigarettes. Like cigarettes.
Listen, with our highways in disrepair, with our schools needing funding, with our infrastructures falling apart, this is the best you have. Like, let's rearrange the deck chairs. That's what that sounds like to me. Let's find an easier way so we can sell. And I still think the promise of revenues from individuals, I think there's a lot of.
I want to, because of time, squeeze in and get both of you guys on this. I'm not sure how John will come out. Pat, I think I know. Viewers should know, and I just did the Governor Corbett show, and I really oppose him and Republicans on this. But Pat, I think they're with you on this for these highway reconstruction that we desperately need in Pennsylvania to raise revenues. They want to put a 28.5 cent over 3 years added gas tax. Everybody watching that in Pennsylvania would pay that more, and diesel fuel over 39 cents. That means every truck that uses that, when they come to drop tomatoes off of the supermarket, they're passing that on. Why would you support that? Then we'll get John.
Why would I support it? Because you can't get a free ride. Somebody has to pay for this. We have an infrastructure, our highways, we have bridges. We haven't tended to, in 12 years, we haven't had a mass transit highway budget. In 12 years, they haven't had one. They finally got together, and that it's the one bipartisan thing they're doing, and now they're up there in Harrisburg playing games with it.
But all your guys and all you represent, they're going to be hit hard by this,
Well,
Pat.
Dominic, we're
all going to be hit hard.
If we fall into the river, if we fall into the Schuylkill River off one of our
Yeah,
dilapidated bridges.
Where is all that money? We're already paying 50.7 cents between federal and state taxes going into roads that we pay as drivers. That would seem to me, I told the governor this today, he's on your side, though. This is a real alliance. It's against the taxpayer.
Well, listen, when you get elected to lead, you have to do certain things. You can't allow your schools to go to hell in a handbasket. You can't allow your mass transit. And the fascinating thing about Philadelphia is we have a mass transit system, SEPTA, which, despite all its obstacles, is still getting fed it. And a city like Los Angeles, if they could replicate SEPTA, they would do it in a heartbeat.
All right, John, that's a line. That's a takeaway from tonight. What do you say about Corbett and this gas tax?
Well, you tax people based on their usage. If someone is going to be driving on a highway, you charge them more on the highway. You tax things that people use. You don't tax them more on gas if they're not going to use that gas for that highway. So you have
So you want to tax the highways more?
You tax the highways
I have
more
to part company
usage.
with both you guys here tonight. My goodness.
Listen, you're not getting out free.
All right, I'm a free rider. That's a Nancy Pelosi line. John Featherman, enjoyed the concert tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. We won't say how much those tickets were unless you want to say. No, okay. And Pat
they'll be lining up for donations from
and Pat Gillespie, thanks for joining us tonight. And we'll continue watching what happens here with this building trades collapse, with the collapse at 22nd and Market.
Establishing our protocols. That's what
coming ahead. 1 minute of Dom Time with me. Straight ahead. Hey, you just heard us here talking on Dom Time with Pat Gillespie and John Featherman about this upcoming transportation bill. Of course, we don't want school buses to go off a bridge or roads to collapse in Pennsylvania. But right now, if you're watching in Pennsylvania, we're spending, or if you get gas in Pennsylvania, about 50.7 cents of taxes for each gallon of fuel you get. If this goes through, adding 28.5 cents will be up to over 79 cents for each gallon of gas that you get just in taxes. Plus, the registration fee for your vehicle will go from $36 to $52. And finally, a surcharge of $100 will be placed if you get a speeding or going through a red light ticket on top of whatever the fee is for that ticket. So I oppose this. I think we're spending enough. We ought to cut something else and move toward this. Maybe a slight increase, a couple of pennies at the pump, but 28.5 cents. Just think about that. And truck drivers, 39 cents per gallon for diesel fuel. Doesn't make any sense. I support Governor Corbett, but not on this. Hey, catch us more tomorrow night with our weekly roundup on DomTime.